Hi, I'm Ryan with Lost Liberty Gun Gear. I sell on Amazon. I got a couple products out right now for the AK community, AK builders. Right now I'm going to be explaining the bending kit that I sell here. And basically it's standard setup to bend 1mm flats. And I've got an optional top punch that does 1.5mm flats. So let's go over terms real quick. We got our top punch here. Like I said, the standard is for 1mm thick flats. We got our bottom punch. This has welded on stabilizer legs, and it's also got these two dowel pin hardened steel alignment pins. We got our pressing bar, and it's got some welded pads that distribute the force. And then we got our die, which is 3/8 thick steel, and it's got some nice chamfers on the inside, so when you're pressing it, it won't mar up your finish too badly. Nothing that won't get bead blasted out. So these are the main components. It comes with the nuts and bolts. What you're going to need though is a C-clamp that I don't right now include. I think you could pick these up for $2 or $3 at Harbor Freight. I use the 3-inch length one. And so anyway, this kit is originally designed to be used with the AK Builder flat. He makes an awesome product. And so right now, as it's set up for his alignment pin holes. You can use the, I take that back, not the alignment pin holes. That's two different things. My dowel pin locating holes locate off of the trigger group, or the trigger guard, which are these inner holes here. You do not need these other ones here and here on some of the other flats. Those they call alignment pin holes. I use the trigger guard holes with my kit. So in any case, that's that. There's a chance when you get these that there might be about 1/1000th clearance issue between the dowel pins and these holes. So you might need to take a little file and take out a very small amount of material just to make it fit. I think he uses 5/32 diameter holes, and I use a 5/32 diameter pin. So you're talking about a very minimal interference clearance. And just be careful when you take a file or Dremel to it that you take a very little bit off. I'm talking about 5/10 per side, if that. And that's 0.0005 of an inch. All right, so let's go over real quick, putting this thing together, assembling it the correct way, and kind of go over a little bit of theory of how to get a good bend. So I've already went through, and what I did, I got a 4mm drill and just went through this hole here, this forward, left, trigger guard, rivet hole, and this one here, just to open it up slightly, and that will get this thing to press on absolutely perfectly. There's zero movement, so I expect a really good bend with this. Next goes on the top punch, and it should be pretty obvious what the top and bottom is. This is your bottom. The front of your magazine entrance fits in this slot. When it bends, these clearances here are, the relief for these magazine bulges in the flat. So I don't know if you could see these bulges here. So these, when it gets bent up, it clears it with this ball nose pass here, this relief cut, so you could slide off the flat. In any case, this is what it looks like originally, or before you get the bolts in. So throw in the bolts. You want to tighten them down pretty good. I just do them by hand first, and then later on I'll crank them down with with some wrenches. So I won't show that, but basically you're going to want to tighten all four of these bolts with wrenches. Then you want to put this in here like this. Then you want to put your pressing bar on top. And then basically after that, when you set it up on your shop press or whatever you're going to use to press it, you want to put this in the middle of the die. So let me show you that real quick. So you want to put this C-clamp here, but you don't want to tighten it too much, and you don't want to tighten it before you get your assembly in it. So you want it to be like this, and then put on your C-clamp. Otherwise, what you could wind up doing is squashing this too much, and then you'll have issues, and you don't want to do that. So you want to just basically support it, keep it from expanding out in the middle, nothing more. All right, there's one issue I wanted to point out that is helpful. This is some half 20 all thread, and it's supported with a bunch of half 20 nuts. Pretty heavy duty stuff. One thing you want to do is check the gap distance. Make sure that you could put in your bottom punch by hand. You want that to be able to slip through. I mean, it's not going to just drop out usually. If it does, that might be okay, as long as you don't see too much daylight in between, in the crack between the bottom punch and the inner walls of the die in here. So you want to make sure that it's not so hard that you can't push it through with your thumb. So right now I could actually push it through and I'm not putting a terrible amount of force. So you want to double check, make sure that's good before you start pressing. There is a slight chance that I might have over tightened it before I sent it to you, but it's only happened once out of over 100 of these sales, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. Just know that you should be able to push this through with your thumbs. So there's minimal marking here. There should be light enough to where it bead blasts out. So that is normal. So let me go ahead and disassemble this and we'll look at it a little bit further. Okay, I got the bolts out. And so what you want to do is you want to separate the bottom punch off. Just do a little bit of use a flathead and just kind of work it back and forth. You don't want to go too hard on one side, otherwise it might get jammed up. Kind of work it evenly and then it will just come right off of the bottom punch. So the next thing is you got this big old slot down on the inside here and you're going to slide this top punch back, and you might need to separate this out. Like I said, I got a little bit carried away, overbent it on its side. So this might take some effort. Oh, never mind. This pops right out. So there we go. We got our flat. Actually looks pretty darn good. It's slightly overbent from the side, but I imagine once I get the front rear trunnion and center support, all of that will go away. I've made several of my own AKs, probably, I'd say at least 5 or 6 of my own using this method, and I've had zero problems. And remember, your front trunnion goes here, so that will expand this out, and your center support, and then your rear trunnion. And I'll get close up. You can kind of see these edges, how sharp those radiuses are. Yeah, that looks just about perfect. It's pretty good here. So that's what you should expect. And like I said, I've made half a dozen at least good functioning AKs with this. And if you buy my kit, you'll wind up probably saving quite a bit of money. So anyway, that's how that works, and enjoy.